Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of 4.0 and Below. I'm your host WB Kelso, and today we're going to have ourselves a comic haul video, stuff I've sort of accumulated the past few months that I never really got around to shooting to show you all because my ISP sucked. Well, it did suck. I got a new one now and it's actually pretty great. So let's get right down to it. First we got some eBay wins, starting with a lot of amazing adventures, starting with number 5. Now, I'm not sure. I think that might be Neil Adams' first work on this issue on the Inhuman story. I think it was Gene Colan on the Black Widow stuff, which is actually pretty great. And then also in that lot was number 24 with Killraven, the War of the Worlds stuff, which is actually pretty good. If you guys never read that stuff, it's pretty good. I think Herb Trimpe's on the art on that one. I'm not for sure. Been a while since I read it. In issue number 25. Which gets me closer and closer to getting that whole run, which I guess is good. Let's see, we also picked up Fear number 4, featuring more Kirby and Ditko goodness. Doom, the Lokar, turned into a Martian. Yeah, so you got Kirby on top, Ditko on the bottom. Can't go wrong with that. And also picked up Fear number 8. That looks like a John Severin cover to me. The story in it kind of reminds me of that one segment in Creepshow where Stephen King played the idiot farmer who broke into the meteorite, and then the fungus and the weeds sort of overtook the whole world. So, and then also managed to find a copy of Adventure into Fear, which Fear turned into with issue number 10, which is the first solo Man-Thing. Of course, those are kind of expensive because it's a key issue, but I found a seller on eBay, was able to work a deal with him, made an offer, he took it, and Bob's your uncle, and there you go. So, hooray for that! Okay. And then the big lot that I got on eBay this time was a good chunk of Monsters on the Prowl, starting with number 22, with a monster that runs amok. Monsters always run amok in these books, and that's why it makes them so great. And issue 23, which features the return of Grog, who seems to have Satan's halitosis there a little bit. And issue number 24, Magnetor. I think I might have had this one already, but it was part of the lot. And so, and then I showed this one in the last vid. We were talking about Colossus in the Astonishing Tales run. Of course, this is his second appearance. It's a reprint, of course. You know, where the scientist built the robot, and then the giant alien crab monster sort of took it over. It was a thing. And moving on to issue number 26. Again, with the great Kirby monsters. You know, you always laugh, as the old saying goes, with the Fantastic Four. They basically just took the monsters and made them heroes. Because nothing beats this old Kirby scales, man. Okay, and then issue number 27. Can't quite get that to stand. Now, I have some personal history with this comic. This is a reprint. I think this is a story from Amazing Adventures number 6. And this is one of the first comic books that I ever remember reading when I was a kid. It was at my cousin's house. They had it. If I remember right, the cover was long gone. And I remember just being completely mesmerized by it and just reading it over and over and over again. It's standard science fiction 50s monster got a mucktail. Some sort of iguana eats some chemical goo discarded by some scientist and starts growing and starts getting so big it's threatening to knock the Earth off its axis and send it spinning into who knows where. And the Square Jaw saves the day by somehow contacting Jupiter or maybe Saturn. I can't remember which, but they basically send a hook and tow line from Jupiter all the way through space to Earth. And they hook this thing and yank him off to parts unknown, and thus the Earth is saved. And I absolutely loved it. And that's one of the reasons, you know, I love these old monster reprints, but I saw this one was in the lot. I didn't realize this ever got reprinted, and it's like, oh, I gotta get that one. So, and here you go, and here we are. I think this is another repeater. I think I have this one before because I remember showing this before with the most fearful fiend, Monsteroso, the face only a mother can love. But, who am I to judge? And let's see, issue number 29. This is another pretty good story. It reminded me of Twilight Zone, or was it an Outer Limits? I can't remember where. It's like the gang at the bus stop, and one guy's the alien invader, but it turns out the other guy's also another alien invader, so there's two aliens at work, and it's just crazy. So give it a read. It's a lot of fun. And then issue number 30, Monsters on the Prowl, that's actually the last issue of that series, I believe. So getting pretty close to wrapping that one up, too. Okay, so that's all the eBay wins we got. 2 seconds. I gotta clean up. Okay, get over there. Thank you very much. Okay, now, this next batch, I had a friend who called me and said, you gotta go to the Goodwill. There's comics at the Goodwill, and our Goodwill never has any comics, and so I was kind of dubious, but I thought, alright, I got enough better to do. I'll go check it out. And sure enough, our Goodwill had some comics. There wasn't a lot there, but what little there was there, it seemed like I had most of them, but there were a few things in there that I kind of needed and wanted. And so picked up a copy of Dazzler number 12, because the only thing that I love more than goofy-ass Marvel 70s stuff is Marvel's goofy-ass early 80s stuff. And then a Shogun Warriors number 16. And I really started laughing. Honestly, I didn't realize they had expanded this into the series. I think I have the first issue, and I thought that was it, but nope. Turns out, Man from Atlantis. Does anybody else remember this TV show? Patrick Duffy as an Ersatz Aquaman? Anyone? Hello? Anyone? Well, I remember the show, and I remember it fondly. And let's see, so I picked up number 3 and number 7 of that series, and now I'm bound and determined to pick them all up, because this was just amazing. Okay. And then also, I found some... These were all going for like 50 cents or $1. And a couple issues of Marvel Premiere featuring the Iron Fist, number 17. And number 18. And number 24. Yeah, I think those were $1 a piece. And then the Iron Fist regular series, number 12. And number 13. Okay. Now, this next batch that I bought, I have this needs a little prefacing. I have the worst luck when it comes to bailing on series right before, in a collectible sense. I tend to bail on series right before something big happens, a new artist, a new character, anything. Because I had been reading the Amazing Spider-Man character, pretty solidly since the mid-'70s. And pretty solidly as we went into the 80s. And I remember it got to the point where they had just revealed who the Hobgoblin really was. They just went through Kraven's Last Hunt, which was amazing. And I remember, like, times were tight, and it's like, okay, I got to cut back on some comics. And, like, the first issue right after Kraven's Last Hunt with Spider-Man, the cover wasn't very good, and the story, he was, like, trapped in a loony bin, and it was another massive crossover thing, and it's like, you get a little burnout on the crossovers, so it's like, okay, I don't think so. And then the next one, I didn't buy that. The next issue is like even. It's like, I don't know. So I gave up on the Amazing Spider-Man, like on issue 294, 295, and of course, 3-4 months later, here comes McFarlane, here comes Venom, and that series kind of exploded again. And of course, by the time I figured it out and started to try to catch up, and then try to go back and get those issues, it's like the prices on those went through the roof almost immediately. So I was able to get some of them, but not all of them. So I was kind of surprised to see a pretty good stash of these old McFarlane Spider-Mans available for $1. You know, and of course, if you look at the prices now, they're down to about nothing, unless you're talking about, you know, 300 or 301. You know, the first appearance of Venom, but still filling some holes, and they're in pretty good shape. So I thought, what the hell? It's worth $1. 306, 308, 309, 311, 313, and 314. And I don't know, and I got a little excited as I was digging around in those. I thought, oh, maybe there's a 300 in here. And so I sort of decided, you know what, I'm going to dig through again. And while I didn't find an issue 300, I did find an issue 298 for $1. McFarlane's first work on Spider-Man. So, and I didn't have it, so pretty happy on that deal. Okay, so, and the last piece that we got, this is what we're going to call a teaser. This is actually another eBay win. Meet Angel, number 7. Now, of course, I don't know where Sam Simeon went, because usually this is Angel in the 8, but this is the last issue that I needed. This is the last issue of the series, and also the last issue that I needed to complete my Angel in the 8 collection. And so that will probably be our next video, and we take a look at the full run of a couple silly characters that are a ton of fun to look at. So that'll do it for this haul episode. Thanks for tuning in. Check back in next time. Like, comment, and subscribe at your leisure if you're so inclined. And remember to never, ever be embarrassed about what you can afford comic book wise. And so until next time, this is W. Kelso for 4.0 and Below, and we'll catch you next time. See you later. Bye-bye.